Alright Guardians, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. Normally we do this every single Tuesday and or Wednesday. The last couple weeks have been pretty busy. So last week I didn't do one at all. This week is going up a couple days late. But if you're new to the channel, just go ahead and hit subscribe because we will do this. Or we try to do this pretty on time. But if you don't know, there's a community challenge by Bungie to get like so many kills on, do so many different things on Mars, including like escalation protocols, 7 waves, 7 bosses, Nightfall kills, just like enemy kills, hive kills on Mars or whatever. So that's why we're doing Strange Terrain. And if you do either, I think you have to do either Strange Terrain or the Wheel of Thousands. Nightfall, as long as you do that, you get an emblem at the end of the week or something like that. Or you'll be awarded it maybe on Tuesday at least. I'm not sure when you get the emblem, but you will get it. It's pretty cool. So we're doing this on a hunter. And with modifiers that include arc, singe, heavyweight, and momentum. If you're not doing 100,000 points, I would still put momentum on. You'll see at the boss fight it saves my life when I actually get my stuff together and get it done. If you're going for 100,000 points, I would bump this up to about, you want to about 3 point something, and then I would also add probably Extinguish or Match Game. If you're going to do Match Game, I would suggest running something like Hard Light or Borealis. Both those are really good for match game, especially Borealis, since you get bonus damage after you match a shield and break it. And then I would probably run Wendigo, because Wendigo is actually pretty amazing. But this time we're rocking Prospector, Tidal Gaze. You just want something with some long range. It doesn't have to be in your energy slot. It could be your kinetic slot. I prefer it in my energy slot just so I can like take out wizards and knights and stuff. Mine's got Shield Disorient, which is also really good, especially with this strike in particular. With the knights having arc shields, Shield Disorient. If you match the shield type, it actually like blinds the enemies for a little bit. So if you have something like that, try it. And then of course we're rocking the Austringer, probably my new favorite hand cannon. Not gonna lie. Mine's got Outlaw, Rampage, and Minor Spec. We're also rocking Raiden Flux. Chained Arc Staff hits buff damage and duration. I think it also buffs how much damage you take. It might not. I could be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure it does. Let's just look at it. It doesn't say, but I want to think it either does or it used to. And we're rocking Top Tree. One, just because that's what it was on. But also, killing an enemy with this melee ability triggers health regeneration. That helps a little bit. And increases your melee damage temporarily, stacks up to 3 times. I did notice it does not give you your health regeneration with every hit. It's just the initial first charged up hit. So that being said, let's go ahead and rock this guide. Alright, so as soon as you get here, go ahead and just, I like to take out the knight first, just because he's going to be the most dangerous. He is doing arc damage, I'm pretty sure. But go ahead and just take him out with whatever energy weapon you got. Try and save your power ammo from now. And then just kill the 3 or 4 remaining acolytes. And then just kind of stay back here. There's going to be one more knight. I guess they're doing solar damage, these 2 knights. And then go ahead and kill these 2 acolytes. There's 2 down here. There's going to be like 3 or 4 more around the corner, as well as a mini boss. You're either going to get a knight or a wizard, just depending on what your luck is. Hopefully it's the knight. He's a lot easier to take down. And then I was kind of hoping he fell off, but he didn't. Let's go ahead and just a couple more shots should do him in. And then just kill off whatever remaining enemies drop. Pick up the ammo. Hopefully you get some power drops. And we'll move on.
Anna, do you have any intel on Doctors? He's Orc's other son, but was excommunicated.
Alright, once you're here, just be prepared for a small wave of enemies. There's going to be 2 knights, some thralls, and I think an acolyte or 2? Or maybe it's just thralls. just thralls and some acolytes, and then these cursed thralls, and then it's another cursed thrall. Just going to take them out, and then around the corner there's going to be a bunch more acolytes. I think there's like 4 around the corner, 2 up here, and then 2 sniping in the far back. Be very careful, don't move up too far. You want to kind of stay back, because once you move into roughly the middle of this area, you're going to get another wave of enemies that's either a bunch of cursed thralls, or there's going to be like 3 or 4 of those like Vanquisher Knights, I think they're called, the ones with the swords. So you want to be kind of try and take everything out before those guys spawn in. There's also going to be 2 of those crystal knights, we'll call them, the ones that drop the balls for the crystals. I kind of like killing everything and then dealing with them last, but if it doesn't work that way out for you, just kill them as you are able. Now once everything's dead, go ahead and throw the crystals, pick up the ammo, and move on. Just remember, if you get too low on health, you can always run back to the area we just came from. I also like to stay back a little bit just for, there's a lot of cover back here as well. Like as you can see, the knight isn't hitting me worth a damn, which is awesome. And then here is those knights spawning in that we talked about a second ago. Alright, so once you're here, again, you get another small wave of enemies. Usually it's thralls, cursed thralls, and I think it's 1 knight this time. Just be very careful. You don't want to be using grenade launchers in here, or at least not when they're too close. But they should go out pretty easy. And then we like to stay up here. We just kind of like edge our way down to about here. There's going to be 2 elite knights that come in here. We're just going to take them out from afar, because these guys are doing arc damage. Just be very careful with that. And there's also going to be about 4 or so, maybe 5, I think it's 4 acolytes, one of which is an elite. And then once you get close enough down the line, you are going to get 2 more. I believe they're elite Vanquisher Knights. Just be careful of them. I use my power ammo on them because we get some good power drops. And also we have the Prospector Catalyst, which gives us a few bonus reserve ammos, a few reserve shots. But once you get here, I like to just pop my super on these guys. It goes by a lot faster, honestly. And if you have Raid and Flux, it should last long enough to also kill the wizard. Because once you kill these, you think you have to kill at least 2 of them for the wizard to spawn in. 3, I guess. But hopefully you have enough super energy left to kill the wizard. If not, that's okay. Just be very careful. She will do arc damage, and that's going to happen very quick. Go ahead and kill these. Everything that spawns in right here is like 2 knights, 3 or 4 acolytes. And then once you kill all of them, or you see your objective notification change, you're going to get a spawn in of a bunch of thralls and a few cursed thralls. So what I like to do is just kind of slowly make my way backwards as I hopefully get headshots. Since I don't have the grenade, I can't use them. But for the most part, this should be really easy. Some good ways to get your super back, as well as some power ammo drops. One thing I recommend, if you have any armor pieces that have heavy ammo finder, throw those on. Because even with heavyweight, I've noticed I don't get as much power ammo drops as I would like, which kind of sucks since that's the whole thing about putting heavyweight. Heavyweight makes your power ammo do more damage as well as get more ammo drops, and it doesn't seem to do that very often at all. Alright, but once you're here, there are going to be 2 elite knights down here, so I like to stay up here, kill this first one, and then the 2 acolytes that surround it. I think there's 3 or 4 more acolytes around in the back as well. So there should be 2 on the left, 2 on the right, I think 2 in the back. And then if you stay far enough back, the knight that actually spawns in the back won't shoot you. So hopefully you get that to do. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that. But that's neither here nor there. Just go ahead and take these acolytes out really quickly and then kill the knight. And then move on into the main ogre room. Alright, so once you're in here, there is a wanted enemy. This time we let it escape, but it is very dangerous because it is a wizard, and with arc damage, that really sucks. But yeah, that shot is what pretty much made me like, we're just gonna forget it. But go ahead and take out as many acolytes as possible. You're also either going to get 2 ogres or 2 shriekers. The shriekers are going to be about the same place where the wizard was, as well as across where that bridge is at on the far right side. You'll see us like jump up there in a little bit. Go ahead and kill them really quickly before you deal with anything else. And then if you have the ogres, honestly, we just kill the first one and then worry about the second one when we get there. You want to be very careful. I like to use this area that we're standing in for a lot of cover. Like, as you can see, that knight is doing quite a bit of damage. And there's also a little trick. If you take your time killing them and you don't throw the crystals at the or the orbs at the crystals, they will just spawn in periodically, so you can actually get all 4 without having to do anything with the other side. So if you can get that to work, go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, I wasn't that patient, but if you are, it only takes like a couple minutes. But if you're going for 100,000 points, you obviously want to move a little bit faster than what I'm doing. But once you're down here, go ahead and take out whatever acolytes are kind of still around. Just like that. And then we're going to throw the orbs at the crystals, because we're that guy this time. And just be very careful, because if they do spawn in before you throw both crystals, they are going to be doing arc damage, and that's what kills you really quick. So I also recommend try holding on to your super, use it for the ogre in the middle if you can. But if not, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Just go ahead and take out that second ogre now. And we're going to also take out these guys, hopefully pretty quickly. And this is the area we're talking about. The second shrieker is going to be kind of by where that acolyte is, roughly, but just in the front end, if that makes sense. Alright, and then if you have dropped your super, just go ahead and make sure you kill as much stuff as possible, especially if you're going for 100,000 points. You might as well just get it over with. And then don't pick up the orbs until your super is done. Wait until everything's dead. Kill as much stuff as possible and then run away if you have to. But also, if that happens with your orb, don't go running up there, because that ogre, even though it's doing void damage, will probably melt you pretty quick. That's why I'm completely avoiding it. I use this bottom area as cover from the ogre. And then once that happens, if you have your super, go ahead and throw that last orb. If not, make sure your power ammo is loaded. And then throw the orb. If you have your super, you can also take out all of these. I think these guys are elites, so you might want to save onto your super just in case you're going to 400,000 points. And then after that, we will finally be in the boss room. The boss room is going to start off just like the room before the ogre room, with the 4 elite knights that spawn in the wizard. So go ahead and kill the 4 knights. You can kind of take your time a little bit if you want to. Hold on to your power ammo. Do not use any power ammo against these guys because they're easy, and you want as much power ammo for the boss as possible. And then once you do that, the boss should spawn in pretty quickly. And just wait a couple seconds. There's actually like a music cue for when it starts to be able to take damage, the boss. It's that you hear it, the music go a little lower. It's like da-da-da, da-da-da. Once it hits that lower note, you can actually go ahead and start doing damage to the boss.
Stop him now and save Mars.
So hopefully you heard that in there. That's when you can start doing damage to the boss. I think it's 4 rounds with the Prospector is going to get it back into an immunity shield. So just kill whatever adds spawn in. There's things like 4 or 5 thralls, and then you'll have to deal with these guys. Just kind of let them come to you a little bit in case they drop power ammo. Power ammo is going to be very important to make this fight a lot easier. The boss in this is actually really easy. It's the ads surrounding the boss that make this really hard. Or not really hard, but harder. So what you want to do is take out as many of these guys as possible. Like, there's going to be a spawn in of 2 of those crystal knights. Be very, very careful of them. So that's why you want to kill as many of these guys as possible, especially the thralls and the sniper acolytes. The other guys not so much, but I would still recommend killing them just because it makes your job a whole lot easier. And remember, if you're rocking momentum, watch your health. Like, I'm constantly looking up at my health. And then once you have most of these guys dead, try and hit your shots. And just run around, get your health back, and then kill the 2 knights. Once you kill the 2 knights, throw the crystals at throw the orbs at the crystals as quickly as possible. And then once the immunity shield is lifted on the boss, again, I think it's 4 or 5 prospector shots, and then the boss goes immune again. Once that happens, we'll do the same thing over again. Kill the enemies, except this time there will also be 2 elite wizards that spawn in. Those wizards are very dangerous, so you want to be very careful. Use these outside rocks as cover as much as possible. And the boss will also start shooting at you, so it won't move around yet, but it will start shooting at you, so just be very careful of that. It is solar damage, but it still hurts. So just like I said, use these rocks as cover, use momentum to your advantage, and you're going to want to kill these knights very quickly, because just like before, if you don't kill them fast enough, they will respawn in. Then just before you throw the last orb, make sure your power ammo is reloaded. And you're good to go. So here's where the knights or the wizards spawn in, so be very careful of them. Try and kill as many other ads as possible. Try and kill everything. If you want to, you can use this wave with your super to take out the 2 wizards and the 2 knights. Just make sure you kill the 2 wizards and the 2 knights with your super. The knights won't spawn in until both of the wizards are dead. Otherwise, you can save it for the last wave just whatever you feel more comfortable with. Maybe you have to do an emergency super like I did earlier. That's up to you. But once you do that, the immunity shield is going to come away again from the boss. Just go ahead and use your power ammo against the boss. Hopefully you're getting really good ammo drop, which is why I say try and rock some armor that has heavy ammo finder. It's going to make your life a lot easier. And then this time with the immunity shield, the boss will have a will kind of follow you around the room a little bit. So you want to just keep continuously moving around the room, like around the entire room, and just kind of killing stuff as you can. Like throw a grenade down every once in a while, that kind of thing. And then once the 2 knights spawn in, that's if you have your super still, that's when I would rock your super to kill the 2 knights. And then whatever kind of thralls or acolytes are still kind of following you around. Once they're dead, throw the 2 crystals. You want to throw the crystals as quickly as possible so you don't get those knights spawning in a second time. And then once that happens, make sure if you have power ammo, especially, just rock the last little bit of the boss's health. And then that is going to do it for this video. I'm just going to let the rest of this strike play out so you can kind of see what I've been talking about for like the last 5-6 minutes. But hopefully this guide helped you out. If it did, hit the like button, hit subscribe for me to the channel. Hopefully this helped you get your emblem from the community challenge. And yeah. Other than that, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and I hope you guys have an awesome week.
Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes out, Guardian.